I just yacked everywhere.
Did you just shit your pants? Is that the best intro to an episode that we've ever had? Is Joe shitting his pants live on air? I think we might have recorded that.
Prior to going live, you're like, hey, we got to get our shit together. And then you proceed to just start out the episode. Did you shit your pants?
That wasn't me. I didn't make any sounds.
I didn't say anything about getting our shit together because it's Friday night. I just got paid. And yeah, like the last, I don't know, 30 episodes we've done maybe have been morning episodes. So that means we're normally not drinking. And, yeah, Joe and Elise, welcome. We're too busy this weekend.
Giving you the gift of an episode that you can drink during.
Yeah, we squeezed you in our schedule. Right?
Speaking of squeezing in, Mark, how have you been this week?
Dude, nothing was squeezed in. Everything was just squeezed out. The whole. All right,
we're not going to get into it. Asked.
I was sick the last few days. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, we've been sick and tired of you, so.
And there goes our 2 listeners.
By my count, we just doubled.
The 2 viewers are here right now.
So, welcome, first of all, to episode 287 of the Chumpcast. Thank you very much to Joe and Elise, who, if you've been following for a while, they are not new to you. We've played Dungeons and Dragons with them for 2 years. Right. Both of them individually have been on different episodes. So, welcome, Patreon supporters, proud members of the Discord, meme lords, mostly Elise.
Mostly Elise, yeah. The Chumpcast Discord is like Elise's safe place, you know.
That is very sad.
It either goes from safe to very chaotic pretty quickly. Depending on what channel you join.
That's my MO. It's just chaotic. Good.
It definitely averages to chaotic neutral, but yeah. So 75% of us got to finish 2 years worth of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
I hate you.
Yeah,
and I thought it was incredible. But if there's anything that you wanted to point out, any of you that were there, specifically Joe and or Elise, and not anyone else, if there was something specifically that stood out to you during the campaign, I would love to hear it. Because I have some specific memories that I thought were very fun. And also millions of things that I totally forgot about that we should have been doing.
Definitely
that we didn't keep doing.
Forgot about Lulu in that last session. Just kind of the wayside.
Wait, you guys just didn't even reference Lulu at all?
Not
a single time.
Not once.
Why didn't we just murder her like 8 sessions ago when we wanted to?
Out here and there.
I was going to suggest that we start tracking her in case she betrays us when we start to murder. Never mind. That's spoilers. Seriously though, like certain instances, anything, because I could reference the most fun mechanic addition for me, which I shouldn't have been able to do, but Joe's not a shitty DM. When you allowed me to learn Vicious Mockery. For no apparent reason, and I just started yelling horrible obscenities at creatures.
I figured you were probably going to do that anyway, just being Smithers, so might as well make it like a mechanic in the game so that it enhances the storytelling, you know?
I spent like a couple of minutes before we would go live writing out alliterative insults that would, and then adding looking ass at the end of every line. Because that's how you make them land. But yeah, that was fun. I appreciate little mechanics like that. And also, I was talking to Andrew on Roll for Persuasion about this and how not seriously we took it in the beginning because my character was literally just a dick joke and not even a good one at that. And the fact that you were like, yeah, that's fine, we'll roll with it. And it didn't matter. And by the end, it was like, I wish I hadn't. That was dumb.
Welcome to your first D&D character. That's like exactly how that works. And I think Colin too kind of felt a similar way. He was like, yeah, this character is a little bland and basic. And yeah, no, I'm looking for it. I think it was I like our group. I think it's a solid group. I think it clicks well. And now that everyone's got a campaign under the belt, minus Mark, we're able to, I think, have more fun with the D&D ventures we have next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark
Dude,
just got
some of
held
my
back in second grade.
No, some of my favorite memories though were, I would say, within the first 30 sessions, which seems like a lot, but it's not, considering how long our campaign went for.
Yeah.
Like, I vividly think back to the arm wrestling match that I put together, that clip. It's like little things like that where we're in a bar and then we just have a stupid argument, and that was between Smithers' character and Snod, who's Wubby's character. They just went back and forth with this arm wrestling match, and we were just so into it. Like, things like that just bring you alive when you're playing D&D. And Joe, I will ask you, because I hear horror stories of like newcomers to D&D just being super immature and thinking of kind of awkward things to do. Like, were we somewhat mature for being newcomers to D&D? Like, we made jokes about things, but at the same time, like, didn't we kind of come prepared to like play, even though half the time we were asking you, can we do this? Wait, did I do this right?
I think it's less about being mature, in a sense, and more about being able to play a game with other people. Like, I didn't think anybody spotlighted or try to like take more attention away from one another. I think for the most part, we got along, as a group. We were functioning as a team, which is more of a rare thing to come across. I had one paid group that I ran like 2 sessions for, and I ended up just telling them I wasn't interested in playing with them anymore because they sucked as like people, and their
play client.
Their play style was just clashed so hard with my DM style. They were like big rule Nazis. They were all about min-maxing, would talk over each other's turns, being like, no, your character should do this instead of that, or you need to be here so that I can do this. And like, no one was trying to like take control of any one situation,
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes for a good D&D experience. It's shared storytelling, and everyone was part of the story for the most part.
Collaborating.
The only spotlighter was Little Miss Perfect. I'm so perfect.
Well,
perfect.
Elise, what was your favorite moment though?
When I just want to say, when you get the sword, it does indicate that is a trait.
Yes.
Perfection. So, I don't think can perfection be assigned as an actual trait?
That you like believe that you are the ultimate, like you're great. So I was playing my character correctly. Second of all, I think my favorite parts honestly were in the Sun Bitch, and just I love Mad Max stuff anyways. So like just rolling through the deserts of hell and destroying stuff and giant T-Rexes and just dumb stuff like that. I was super happy I could do that for an entire campaign.
Total non sequitur, but did you ever play the Mad Max game that came out a couple of years ago?
No.
I've actually heard incredible things about it, and if that's like your bag, then you should totally check that out.
I think I would love it. What console did it come out for?
It was on PS4.
Yeah, we need to get updated on PlayStation.
We do.
All right, so
good times.
Yeah. I was about to mention basketball, and then I realized present company probably doesn't give a shit about that.
Wrong group.
So I think that maybe it would be a better idea if we just kind of got into some movie trailers.
News to us.
So thank you, Mark, for taking over for me not being able to do that this week. You sent us quite a few trailers, and I want to kick off with the Ms. Marvel trailer because, frankly, I don't really know how to feel about this. I have somewhat of a relationship with this character. Like, I started reading it when it was on Marvel Unlimited, when the original came out, 2014? when they introduced Kamala Khan. So yeah, like I've been following it about since then. They completely changed his character.
Yeah. I thought I noticed some different powers.
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's about like energy stuff going on as opposed to like the stretching.
Stretchy, yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely not doing the Inhuman thing, which is fine because they already tried that and failed miserably. Which I maintain that Black Bolt could still be a good character if they just don't fuck it up, and it would definitely have to be Vin Diesel. But yeah, I don't know who this is targeting. It feels a little Scott Pilgrim-y, with the artwork over the overlay and stuff like that. So I don't really know what I'm in for here. Elise, do you have any thoughts on this?
It's funny because I actually I took notes on all the trailers because that's who I am as a person. I did say that it looks cute, which is not necessarily always to character for this, I'm okay if they're aiming it at more of a teenage crowd.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain storylines, especially with her character, and I think that especially nowadays they center a lot of it towards a younger adult, and especially Marvel has done worlds of work to bring in young readers. So if that's what they're going for, I'm okay with it, and if it's not necessarily a show for like us, I'm okay with it. But I don't want them to toe the line because that's when stuff pisses me off. When they try to do both, then I'm not going to be happy with it. But yeah, if they're sticking with like a cuter, more lighthearted, like teenage-based teenage problems thing, champion style, like younger thing, then I'm okay with it. But yeah, then I just don't think that it's going to be necessarily for us. But we have so much content that I'm okay with that.
No, Disney Plus is all about fucking now. Because they put one scene on there and parents are mad.
I think if they were smart, what they would do is actually keep it what it's supposed to be directed on.
If Disney was smart, they would listen to what Mark has to say.
Well, hear me out. I mean, the main character is a 16-year-old girl in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
She's in high school.
Yeah.
You don't have demographically, you don't have a lot of girls that age. I feel like that are familiar with Marvel comics, if even shows. So stay in that lane. It shouldn't be a show for me, or it shouldn't be a movie for me. And I get that, and I'm fine with that. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm probably still gonna enjoy it. But with her being a 16-year-old girl growing up with, going through different things with her background, her nationality, and where she's grown up, stay in that lane and try to get this different demographic of people interested in these characters and interested in the source material. Because the problem as a comic book reader, and I'll always go back to this because I fucking love comic books. It's like, dude, as a 30-year-old guy, I feel like it's all 30-year-old guys. Like, I'm like, where are the 15-year-old kids that want to read comics? Because I always feel like it's fucking people my age that are going to the store
on their
that
iPads, you fucking dinosaur.
Not necessarily.
Yes,
I don't know,
they
dude.
do.
Like, Elise, hear me out.
Like, the shop, I will say, and it's funny because we literally were just having this conversation earlier today because I was talking with people at my work about how I used to manage the shop, and a majority of people do not see me as a comic book reader. Yeah, I would agree with you that the majority of comic book readers are like 30-something-year-old or older white dudes. But that being said, having worked in the shop for a long time, there are a lot of younger kids that come in, and like I said, I think Marvel has done a lot, especially within the last 5 or so years, to release things that are more accessible for younger readers. In DC has also made a big push to release smaller graphic novels for young teens and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with you also in that sense of it would be nice if this show was something to be like, hey, this is for younger people. This is to get younger people into it. It's just not for us, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I think that you would be surprised at how many younger readers there still are. So it's not totally hopeless.
At what point does that generational gap, at what point does that wave crest? Because if we're the 30-year-old white guys that are having the kids, then when are we going to get them into the comic book shop? Like if this is cyclical, it's like cicadas coming out of the ground every 17 years, I guess.
But I have a theory on this because I'm in a lot of chat groups, and there's like, it's not a fine line, but there's definitely a line of the guys that grew up in the 90s that were so caught up in the X-Men and things that were going on, like all the hype then, and think modern books in general are trash. They're just absolute trash. And they hate when guys like speculate on new characters and things like that. And that's fine. But at the same time, overall, they think all the stories coming out, with some exception to like indies, but they think Marvel and DC are just doing it wrong because they're so still caught in this, like the 90s were the time of comic books. And until those people just like get out of this, like, and let me come in and be like, hey, Nolan, we're going to the comic book shop and I will show you all these great comic book runs. I don't know. I feel like, yes, there is.
Is anybody here going to stand up for comics in the 90s? Because all that was big guns and pouches.
Yeah.
Belt pouches everywhere.
Man.
Most of it was dog shit. And like Spawn was good, but then it got redundant. I don't know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles started in the 80s. I'm trying to think of good comics from the 90s. Like Claremont's X-Men just went on for an eternity. But that started in the 80s and just spanned until next decade. So I don't know. That's not my favorite era of comics.
No, I mean, it's just the most popular era of comics. It was a lot.
The most
I feel
printed for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was the 90s was the cash cow of comics of like, hey, this is coming up. Let's print as much as possible. And then people try to sell those collections now and get mad when they get offered a book.
Death of Superman is prime example of that. What was that, 93? And they printed millions of copies. And everybody's like, oh my God, I got to get one because I'll be retiring on this one day. Not realizing that everyone had one. So.
Oh my God, Spawn. I'm so glad I don't ever have to buy another Spawn issue from a customer.
Last thing I'll say is if you want to get some more information on this Miss Marvel character and you're not familiar, go read the 2014. There's a volume out by G. Willow Wilson. That's a really good start to just getting to know this character a little bit better. So I'll end it there. Yeah.
Okay. Next trailer, we have the return of Mike Myers, not the stabby Mike Myers, the Pentaverate, the perverser, the rural juror. This is Mike Myers. Is okay. My question going into this: is Mike Myers still a draw for people to watch a TV show?
No. I mean, I'm gonna start out by saying, like, I consistently talk about how I think the Tropic Thunder was one of the last movies to get away with a lot of that humor, and movies since then haven't either been good enough to get away with it or been funny enough to get away with it. I just can't think of a lot of movies that I've really enjoyed that have been over the line since then.
You'll find like the occasional joke in a movie, but not
right. Not a full movie that is just from beginning to end that totally good, agree. That disgusting and weird. And like when I saw this trailer, I just had the same thought of like, can Mike Myers really make the same jokes and get away with it? Is he gonna try to make the same jokes and get away with, like, because either he's gonna try and it's gonna be kind of sad and cringy, or like they're gonna not try and try to like reel it back in, and it'll also be kind of sad and cringy.
I definitely got thrown for a loop because the beginning of the trailer was like serious, like setting the stage, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like, is this a movie about COVID, but for whatever, like this seems like a real serious thing, and then Mike Myers shows up and he's a little goofy. So I mean, I wouldn't hate it if he tried to do something different, than his normal sort of sense of humor.
I'm kind of fine with the normal sense of humor. I mean, not like the normal, but like the characters, the weird costumes and all that shit. Totally in for that. I think that I will always just he built up so much goodwill for doing so many stupid movies that I love that I feel like I'll just give him a chance regardless. Like The Love Guru, I've probably seen it 4 or 5 times. Just because it was there and on, and I will chuckle every now and then at it, realizing that it is a terrible movie.
Is he gonna be multiple characters? Isn't that what he usually does?
He has to be, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to do the Gong Show reboot, and he did it all in full prosthetics, and I don't know that anybody actually watched that. I didn't have any interest in it, so...
When's the last time you didn't see him in prosthetics? I feel like he just will look super old. Like every scene I've seen him in he's hiding what he looks like to some sense.
Probably the last time without prosthetics is when Kanye West was talking about George Bush standing next to him.
Wasn't he in Bohemian Rhapsody too as the producer
that's right.
or something?
Yes, he was.
Right.
He was the record executive.
That was the last thing I remember him in.
But he was in it for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it can. If he thinks he's gonna try to bring back like a Mel Brooks Blazing Saddles type thing, it's like, dude, yeah, that's probably not gonna go over well. Like
tall order.
Like, dude, and that's like, it's like guys that age. Like my dad is his age probably, and he's like, why don't they just try to make a Blazing Saddles like that? Like for my time, I'm like, Dad, you don't. I'm just not even gonna explain it to you, but okay. Like you could have that movie. I'll watch it with you. Yes, whatever. Yes, I get the time period it was in, but. Just it's just not gonna work.
It's
dude.
super weird because at some point we'll look back at the movies that are made now, and a few of them will be kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you pitched Blazing Saddles today and attached, I don't know, Pete Davidson and Michael Che, just because they're both Saturday and say Blazing Saddles had never been made, there's no fucking way that a movie executive would greenlight that movie.
Yeah.
Which is good and sad at the same time because that's, I mean, a brilliant satire and it needed to be made. I don't know. It's weird. How did we get here? Mike Meyers, right?
Yeah. Fucking Mike Myers, man. Just
always spins the conversation.
Yeah.
Joe, I have.
Why is he back?
In a couple of minutes.
Why is he back?
Yeah, Joe, can you tell me your thoughts on the
the Pentaverate, I think, right?
Yeah, I like I said, I kind of like that serious tone, almost like Da Vinci Code-y, it kind of like came across. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really didn't have that much of a impression on it, to be honest. I was just like, okay, we'll see how it turns out.
It's on Netflix, right?
It will be on Netflix coming beginning of April. It also has Jeremy Irons, Ken Jeong, Keegan-Michael Key. So it's not just nobodies and Mike Myers. It is just, I think the weirdest part for me was that they were like, from the mind of Mike Myers. Like that's, oh my God, I must watch this.
It definitely stands out that way. I feel like, all these movies that are coming out seem pretty similar in terms of like genre and content, but this definitely seems like a different movie compared to even the other trailers that we watched for, tonight.
I mean, we don't get a lot of these movies anymore because I don't think that people want to take that risk anymore with a lot of this, which I understand. It's a difficult.
Adam Sandler got burned a few times.
Yeah.
To Jack and Jill, and that's my boy.
Yeah. It's a bold thing to do. So Mike Myers is, I guess, is just going for it. Why not?
He's like, fuck it. I'm getting old. Whatever.
Yeah. I'll take the shot.
All right. Speaking of retreads, we own this city because HBO is, I believe, contractually obligated to greenlight any cop show set in Baltimore.
Yeah. This one looks heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got, first of all, it's got quite a cast. It's from the people who produced The Wire. So I presume that they're all from Baltimore. Like I get the ties here. But Mark, I was wondering why you sent me this trailer, and then 5 seconds in, John Bernthal shows up as a crooked cop, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
He's the perfect crooked cop, though.
I
He
love
really
him.
is. He's
I hated his hair though. I want to watch the show, but I don't know if I can watch many episodes of his weird hair and beard.
his
situation.
beard is terrible.
It was really bad. I was really distracted through the whole trailer.
It looked like someone went through with tweezers and selectively plucked random hairs out of it.
Yeah, or like they just like went to like a high school theater class for a costume beard. And they were like, we'll glue it on. We'll fix it later.
I'm pretty sure it was Cartman gluing Scott Tenorman's pubes to his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, just a really long.
Let me lick your tears, Scott.
Okay.
It looks good. I always have a hard time wanting to get into shows like this, not because I don't think they'll be good or because they're not good, but because I feel like it's always just heavy, like emotional, big downers, anticipating bad things happening, where like there's always so much bad stuff happening in the real world where like I don't want my TV show to have to like bring me down to and make me feel bad about other people. So yeah, I always get like hesitant of like watching shows like that.
I get it. I am a sucker for like the omniscient style narrator where we kind of just go to whoever's point of view of what's happening and what needs to be done. Plus, this is going to be HBO on a Sunday night, and HBO Sunday night is just, it's still
It's
in
HBO
the
Sunday.
age of streaming and cutting the cord. Like they are still the king of Sunday night primetime television.
That
When
intro.
you can stream anything at any time. So
Yeah.
it is what it
Yeah.
is. This will probably be incredible.
Yeah.
What
it
else
looks
do you say about it?
I think
You can tell
I
it's
think
higher
you're-
budget just by the way.
regardless though, what you're gonna get is anyone that has seen The Wire, if they see this trailer or see any snip of what the show's gonna be, they're gonna see Jamie Hector, who played Marlowe in The Wire, which was the most intimidating gangster boss guy in that show. Like that guy didn't say much, but he like on screen, he just put so much fear into the characters around him because he was just all about, taking action. And this guy's coming back to be a cop. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird, but I need to see it because he was just this badass gangster. And now he's actually on the other side. It looks like being with John Bernthal and working for the Baltimore Police Department. It's going to be insane.
I also want to point out, I wrote her name down. Wonmi Mosaku, the chick from Lovecraft Country. She plays like the same character in most things she's in, but I love the character she plays. So I'm excited to see her be in more stuff. Honestly,
Since you mentioned it, sorry, can you give me your 15-second recap? Did you like Lovecraft Country?
yeah, it was. It's hard because I've read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft, so like as someone who understands
Racist.
the weirdness and sure the racistness, yeah, like that universe of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I did like it, and I think that like the more I've thought about it, I liked it. But there were definitely points in it that I watched it that I was like, this is not for everyone, and a very hard grab to keep watching.
I very much liked it, and I don't think that they stuck the ending. That's my
Yeah, the ending was a lot,
one sentence review.
but yeah.
Okay. I like this. This is a good conversation. So let's keep moving along. Mark, I have no idea why you sent me this trailer for this British Big Little Lies show. So just justify yourself.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one with Jessica Biel?
Yes.
Anatomy
No,
of a
no,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
Candy. This is British Big Little Lies. I don't know. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I
Gaslighting
actually
piece
sent
of
like
shit.
7 trailers. Now I'm trying to think back. Okay, what was this one?
Anatomy of a
I-
Scandal. It was like
They're
her
British.
sleeping with her, I don't know, raping. There was some. It literally.
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Scandal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally when I saw
okay.
Big Little Lies, I was like, oh, yeah,
This is
I see.
this is how I'm going to sum it up. If you don't pay for HBO and you've heard about Big Little Lies and you're into that drama, I don't even know how to describe it. It's
It's drama porn. It's
centered
drama,
around
murder
middle-aged. Yeah, middle-aged
Oh,
women who are dealing with their husbands that are cheating, and it's very dramatic. If you didn't get a taste of that, it's now coming to Netflix, and it's not starring Hugh Grant like the HBO one did. It's now going to star this other dude, but they're doing it for Netflix, so you can enjoy it there.
Now that I think about this, it started off as soap operas. Then it made it to like mainstream scripted shows. Then it went to reality shows. And now we're just going full circle where this is a scripted reality show. And I'm not happy about where we are as a people.
Yeah, this was to Joe's point earlier of like one of those. This is depressing real life, and I don't need this
don't need that.
at all.
Very
I don't need to
But
watch
they're
a
like
show about this.
just
use a little
rich
Mike
people
Meyers.
who live in like Newport Beach on a cliff. And they just have a Xanax and wine addiction. And they push their child off the dock, and they're like, "Oh no, my life is so hard." Like, well,
huge spoilers because I know you're never going to watch Big Little Lies.
no.
Do you know
zero
how
chance.
do you know how the murder happened?
I just assume it was some Ben Schwartz kicked somebody off the fucking pier.
No, it close. It was revolved around this guy that was super abusive and like domestic violence at the house, cheating, everything like that. But it took place at a big fundraiser, a gala, of course. And all these middle-aged women got together, and one of them kicked this guy down like a huge flight of stairs, and he died. So that's like
it?
where that season ended.
That's the most like just Clue bullshit ever. Yeah.
Super
No,
dramatic.
Clue is way better than that, and they've proven it in a movie. Clue is so much more interesting than that.
I think of those like shitty
What the
paperback
fuck?
novels, the romance
Yeah.
novels with like Fabio on the cover that everyone's moms read.
Yeah.
That's-
That my mom would read. Yeah.
That
like
was
mom shows.
Stephen
Mhm.
King before he discovered cocaine bad.
That is a good way to sum it up,
Christ.
though, Elise, is those books that your mom always
Yeah.
used to pick up with the guy with
With
the long
Fabio
hair
on the
just
cover.
flowing.
My
Yeah, on
mom
the
was
cover.
like, all I do is cook and clean, and I'm bored with my life, so I need to watch this show about drama and murder.
Just
I
like
guess.
love doesn't heal, and it's like this Fabio guy with like cuts down his chest.
Live,
bleeding.
laugh, die.
That should be the name of your next D&D one shot. Is
Live,
Laugh, Die. All right. This will be quick. Puss in Boots. Mark, why did you put this on the list? This is just
I don't
something
know.
that I'll have to watch with my son 6 times in a row. And then
I
forget
actually
about it
think it's
forever.
like it's a sequel to like the last Puss in Boots movie, or maybe like a threequel. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know how many there
I
were.
was
Is it going
more
right to
excited-
DVD? I have no idea.
I was
or
more
streaming.
excited with like they're like, "Oh, Puss in Boots, you're dead," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like they offed Puss in Boots, and then it was like, "No, you've got one life left. Make it count." And I'm like, "I don't care about
Yeah.
that." Like,
That's the
All the funny bits weren't very funny. Like through the whole preview, they were like, "Aha!" and I was like,
Yeah.
"Is that the best that we had to put in the
Yeah.
trailer? Really?"
the funniest part was showing him dying, which they already have ruined.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot possibly build on that in the movie.
yeah,
What they should have made a spinoff on is the fucking gingerbread guy about him teaming up with the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
the Muffin Man.
Just- dude, that would have been the
Well,
best.
he's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
Is it still Antonio Banderas? I didn't see.
It is.
Wow.
We've got
Okay.
Antonia Banderas, Selma Hayek, Florence Pugh is in there.
Oh,
Wow.
So Selma Hayek was the female cat who makes the eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
Give me more Shrek. I don't care about this.
yeah. Honestly,
This isn't the character I would have chosen out of all of those movies.
more Mike Myers. That's what people want.
True.
I
You
mean,
guys would
honestly,
have had a better time making another Shrek.
my son is, since Netflix put Shrek 1 and 2 on the docket, my kid's getting into that now, and I'm like, fuck yes, I will continue rewatching these because it is not Cocomelon.
Yes.
Nice. Happy for you.
Okay, how about Mark, explain Candy to me. You guys remember Jessica Biel?
Sort of.
It's based on true stories, I guess, right?
What?
Maybe.
So
About
what?
what? Like the preview
Yeah.
didn't give me anything.
I'm just sending you guys trailers. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Yeah, so they're really trying to convince you that she's a murderer, but also by not explicitly saying it, you have no idea if she's actually a murderer. So what the fuck is the point of this 6-part mini series event?
To learn if she's a murderer.
To learn if she happens to maybe possibly be a murderer by episode 6.
I'd rather just know at the outset.
They didn't give me anything in this trailer, and I was a little upset by the end of it. It just didn't feel like anything new.
They did give you the fact that Jessica Biel is still hot with a bad 80s perm.
She looks almost exactly the same.
Where has she been? Never mind, I know the answer to that. She has actually come out and said, hey, I'm raising my kids, so shut the fuck up and leave me alone. So more power to you. I very much enjoy what she's been doing recently, which is these murder thriller type shows, and she does them very selectively. So good for her.
I'll probably just watch Shrek instead.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
It could be decent. It's coming to Hulu. It's based on a true story. This lady that lived in Texas in the 70s was a stay-at-home mom and befriended this lady Betty, and I guess she murdered her. So who knows what happened? Stay-at-home moms got really drunk back then. Yeah,
everyone likes true crime these days.
But who knows what really happened? Who knows?
Betty does, right? Or
Candy.
Candy does.
Candy does.
I don't even know which one or which because the trailer was like, "I'm crazy. I don't know."
That's what I remember hearing.
That was all I got. So
Okay.
Jessie Biel looks great though, so
yes.
I'm gonna watch it probably.
Your good friend Jessie.
At least one episode just to see her beautiful face again.
Yes.
All right, not much in the way of news this week, but I did see that Christopher Lloyd is going to be included in the next season of The Mandalorian.
I saw that too. That's pretty cool.
I didn't see that.
Does he show up in a DeLorean and just say, check this out, man, it's my DeLorean?
Technically, it's a galaxy far, far away, so, good, right?
Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it? I mean, they're just going to keep adding these people in here. You'll never get another Timothy Olyphant because Timothy Olyphant is one of one, and I would probably leave my wife for him. But, yeah, the cameos keep building up, and they do a great job with it. And it's also a great way for these actors who have been in Hollywood forever to just be like, hey, guess what? I was in Star Wars, which is...
Yeah, I feel like it's the new Marvel cameo, right? You're not an actor now unless you've made it into a Star Wars TV show for an episode.
This was essentially my backhanded way. I know that Mark sufficiently pissed the both of you off last week.
Oh my God. I've never walked out of a room fuming like that before. I
don't believe you. But why don't you please, both of you, Elise, we'll start with you. Give me your thoughts on the upcoming Obi-Wan series, maybe what you want to see and what you could expect.
I'm personally very excited to see Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker, not Anakin.
Wait, Anakin?
Luke.
Why can't Anakin show up?
Anakin,
go on.
Well, Anakin technically, not Anakin. Darth Vader is going to be in it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't know. I am not happy about the way that the Inquisitor looks, like most people, because he got a fat face, and I don't know why they did that.
But... The Slipknot guy?
Yes, it's the Slipknot guy.
Yeah. Okay. He has a much slimmer face, which is hard because cartoons, all the cartoons, they all are slimmer, but
they all have extremely exaggerated cartoonish face. How can you don't have people that Jim Carrey can't play every role.
It's true.
Slipknot guy. Got it. Okay.
What's his name? Jason Isaacs? He said he was like, I'll fucking play this role, and they didn't pick him. And that's insane. You could have just picked, I don't know, any guy with a slightly skinnier face. But if that's my only gripe, I'm okay with it. I'm still gonna like it. It's good.
Jason Isaacs, the dad, Malfoy's dad?
Yeah. He would have been a way better fit for that role.
Yeah. He's very intimidating.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have like a super tall, skinny. It doesn't matter, I guess. I
He
get
has a
what you mean.
thinner face though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, the Empire beat out the Republic. The Jedis are on the run. The Inquisitor can let himself go a little bit. You know, like
It's a hard time for
there's not as
everyone.
many Jedi to hunt, so you're not as fit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mr.
Yeah,
These
I'm
filthy
excited.
Jedi over here.
I'm just excited
it's true.
to
It's
see
true. Jedi are
Ewan
scum.
McGregor and Obi-Wan, and they could. Was it gonna be 6 episodes? I don't. Great. Any fill in the gaps. More Ewan McGregor. They could just film Ewan McGregor in the desert walking around for 6 episodes, and I'd be like, that was the best fucking show I've ever seen in my entire life.
Cad Bane walking through the desert with Ewan McGregor.
The only thing I hated about that Cad Bane character was his teeth.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you wanted to
It's
make
a
him
hard
look more menacing, but it made it so hard for the actor to speak.
Yeah.
Nitpicking. Joe, did you have, I mean, other than sexy Ewan McGregor, anything else?
Definitely. So this period of Star Wars is one of my favorite like storytelling times. Like I think it's at least in the comics, I don't know if they can and still call it the dark times. You know, Empire is in power, the Jedi are on the run, and Vader is just going around the galaxy hunting Jedi, doing the Empire's bidding, and just, you know, it's the prime of the Empire. And so I'm really looking forward to like that tone. And I think they came across pretty well in the trailer of like, you don't know who's around the corner. You know, you don't know where the Empire is, if they're looking for you, if they found you. Like all the Jedi, all the Rebels, Republic supporters are on edge, and they're just, it's inevitable until the Inquisitors find you. And it's like, what are you going to do when that happens? So I'm looking forward to more dark times storytelling.
Are they bringing Darth Maul back?
I mean, I guess it sort of depends, right? Like this is a time when
It does depend on what they decided to write. Yes.
Yeah, right. Because he could, you know,
they could also not.
That's their choice.
Say no.
Is there a
they're not going to.
I don't think they need to. I think we already got Maul's story with Obi-Wan in this part of his life, so I think it would just be repetitive at this point. I'm more excited for Hayden Christensen coming back as Vader, because I mean, dude's taken so much shit for, you know, the roles that he did, and I think people are finally realizing that, hey, he's a good guy and you should support him, because new Star Wars is good Star Wars.
Is there a character that you would like to show up? And is there a character that you think might show up? Just based on how the series goes, how they go. Usually in the last 3 episodes or 2 episodes, we get like that reveal of a character, like to continue the story. And people are like, oh my fucking God, this character showed up. Is there one that you want to see? Is there one that you think is just going to happen because of the time period?
Mace Windu and Mace Windu.
Joe?
Mace Windu. Yeah.
I think he has said he wants to come back and do it, right? For me, it's
pretty
hard. Purple lightsaber, baby.
It's an abstract character. There's a comic series called The Crimson Empire, which is all about what happens with Palpatine's royal guard after Palpatine is destroyed. And the main character in there, his name is Karnor Jax, and he's like one of my favorite extra universe characters. He's a total badass. And his story takes place during the dark times as well. So if we saw some Karnor Jax fucking shit up as an ex-Imperial royal guard, like that would be a dream come true for me. I bought his action figure when we were at Wizard World together, if you remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being there. I don't remember that specific character, but that's fun. Yeah. What's also fun is how many of these Simpsons minifigs my parents have showed up with since I texted them once offhandedly.
It's literally like a year ago. I was at my mom's, and I there's a Chobani yogurt flavor. It's like honey orange or whatever.
Literally, You don't even
I
Literally-
kind of like this.
know what flavor.
honey yogurt. And I told my mom, like, hey, this yogurt's good. I like it. And Elise and I saw her last week, and she goes, hey, that yogurt you like was on sale, 10 for 10. So here's 10 yogurts.
I
I'm
bought
like,
you
haven't had this.
700 of them.
Like, it's always on sale for 10 for 10.
Literally always on sale.
10 yogurts. Like,
So you had her send them back, right?
It's
She went
a-
back with them to return them.
Take it back, Mom. So no, it's a parents thing for sure, Smithers. You just get cool Simpsons toys. I get yogurt.
I'm fine with it. I have like 40 of them now, and
It's
I love
great.
it.
Open the
Uh,
boxes, coward.
open them.
I mean, they're probably never going to be worth anything, so I don't really have any reason not to. I'm not like, this is not my retirement fund like your statues are. So I'm not really worried about that.
I'll come over and open them with you.
I don't care, Mark.
Oh, can I go too?
Yes.
We can watch.
Well,
we can
so-
watch Shrek and opens Simpsons toys.
We should watch Formula One, which probably gets us into our recommendations, yeah?
Ooh.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, wait.
Here's some money. Go
Follow
see
the
a
flow
Star
chart.
Wars.
There's a flow chart.
No, there isn't. So this is our weekly recommendation segment, and I think that I would allow Elise to kick this off. It looks like she's Googling something.
I am.
Sorry.
I had comic books and I was going to bring them up just to show them, but I just want to make sure. I am going to recommend Barbaric, which is a comic that just came out
Great
with a trade
comic.
recently. It's really good. It's really gory in the right ways.
Gruesome.
It's really funny. It's about a warrior dude who gets cursed to essentially do good, and he has a battle axe that wants blood and murder, and it talks to him. It has a mouth. Like the axe has a mouth. It's like a big skull face on the axe, and it just like bites into people a lot, and it's really funny. Yeah, it's a really good. I was gonna bring it up, but I totally forgot to. It's a really good comic that just came out with the trade, so I definitely recommend that.
I'm not surprised you recommended that. Michael
Yeah.
Morisi wrote that, and Elise, I'm sure you know, he did like a lot of the Star Wars Adventures runs,
Mhm.
and he's from Chicago too. So
Very
right
good.
on.
born and
Highly
raised, got to stick with that.
Yeah,
Highly
I've been trying to.
recommend
I've been bugging Joe for like 2 weeks now to try to read it because it's very, very good. So
Yeah.
artwork's great. The humor is really good. And yeah, it's just, I love a good story about someone like resentfully doing good, which is
Mhm.
what a lot of this is. Like he doesn't really want to be the good guy, but he's kind of being forced to, and it's pretty
Yeah.
good. So yeah,
All right.
highly good.
Well, as our second guest, Joe, sorry, Elise gets top billing. What do
That's
you
fine.
recommend this week?
Yeah, it's a little biased. It's a board game made and produced by WizKids Games. It just released,
Chill.
and it's super fun. It's called Zombie Princess. Elise and I have played it a few times now with some with our friends, some with her parents. It's like a 30 to 40 minute playtime, and essentially you are a knight and you are trying to get your key to escape a castle because the princess in the castle is a zombie, and you lay out like dungeon tiles to build your route through the castle maze, and you can like rotate tiles to like cut people off. You can move the zombie princess around to consume the other players. But what's super cool is if you die and become a zombie knight, your motive is to now turn the other players into zombie knights. So it's cool because like if you lose, you're still in the game trying to make other people lose.
But now
and
you're
we've-
evil.
That's right. And
Oh,
yeah, we've just had a bunch of fun playing it. So if you're looking for a good new board game that doesn't like take up your whole night to play, it's like a 4 to 5 players can sit around it. It's called Zombie Princess, and it's really fun. And the artwork's cool too.
Okay.
So,
Mark,
That's my recommendation.
I appreciate that. Mark, what do you recommend?
Elise inspired me. I was going to give a shitty recommendation like I usually do,
You do,
which was
You
actually
do.
me reading the first chapter of Game of Thrones, and I'm like, wow, this is great. but, like actually picking up a novel for the first time because I've just been reading comic books for the last 6 years, I feel like. But I'm going to go back to a comic book. It's Batman Superman World's Finest. Mark Waid is writing it. He did a great Flash run. He did Daredevil too. A very predominant, well-known writer. But Dan Moore is doing the art, and he did Once and Future, and his art is just, it's top tier. It's up there. It's like a Fiona Staples, very clean, crisp, like drawings, very clear what you're looking at, but it's beautiful. And like the color, whoever's doing the coloring, this book, the first issue, very campy, but I feel like that's what Mark Waid wanted to do. It was just a well-told Batman teaming up with Superman and kind of them going back and forth and bringing in these, you know, campy characters. And it's a good start so far. So World's Finest, Batman, Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, since Brick is not here and he has been the champion of Apple TV, I will admit that I've been enjoying some of their content, most notably Mythic Quest. The show's actually pretty fucking hilarious. It's Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and a lot of other really talented people. Rickety Cricket is on it. And it's really funny. It's the same kind of really arrogant characters. It's the same style of Always Sunny, but it's not the most terrible people on the planet, which is how I would describe Always Sunny. But it's about and Brick, by the way, has recommended this on the show before, but it's about a guy, Rob McElhenney, who's like the developer behind Mythic Quest and his programmer and his the guy who monetizes the game, and all of them have to work together. It's very well done, and I hate to say it because I'm still on this 3-month Apple trial, and I can't imagine giving them a dime after this. So, I guess I just gotta binge it and get it all over with until Ted Lasso comes out.
Wait, a 3-month? They give you a 3-month trial?
It's for free. I got it off bestbuy.com. You should look and see if it's still there. They literally just send you a code, and it's 3 months for free. Apple TV
3 months.
Plus.
Yeah. 3 months is just enough time to forget that you have a free subscription, and then they hit you with an actual subscription.
You put the reminder in your phone, and that's trust me, dude. I've done it so many
Or
times.
you don't.
When you sign up with another new email.
No, I'm not gonna do
got
that.
6 months of Apple TV.
Like a 1-month subscription, I'm on top of that shit. There's no way I'm missing unsubscribing. But like 3 months, I'm just like, I put the reminder in my phone, but I actually like didn't and just don't unsubscribe ever for like 18 months.
But also, speaking of Apple TV, I have been watching Severance, which is the Adam Scott TV show where they work at a company where you essentially split your consciousness between your at work personality and your at home personality, and you're effectively two different people. It's interesting. It has decent ideas. It's a little slower than it should be. It's produced by Ben Stiller, and it thinks that it's probably smarter than it really is, but it's still interesting enough that I'm going to keep watching it. It's got some good performances, and I think it's where. Oh, hi, Hobbs.
He's here.
Bubby.
I mean,
Hobby Wobby.
if I show Remy, he might just come eat.
Oh,
Be good, bro.
donut.
This is how we should have started this relationship. A virtual meet.
No.
He is just not having it.
You're gonna roll.
He looks like Voldemort.
Look at that! Voldemort's crippled body.
Yeah.
That's okay. He's a good boy.
Rubby.
He's a good boy.
I don't know if you can tell because it's kind of dark, but he's a bandana dog now.
Oh, fancy man.
Fancy man indeed. Okay. Any other passing recommendations before we move on to our draft that I'm woefully unprepared for?
That you're woefully unprepared for?
I'm just going to go ahead and play the drop now because I have nothing to say to that.
I got it. I got that.
I
Mark's
got it.
cool.
It was just
Mark gets me.
I
just
got
made
it.
me angry.
You didn't. No, you didn't get it.
Somehow Mark won last week, even though he was arguably the worst draft.
Say it. Just say it. We're tied. Just say it.
Yeah, are you doing the brick model where you go pay people to vote for you, or?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay, fair enough.
No way.
Well, in that case, you get to pick the draft order this week, and I'm going to leave it to you to try and explain this fucking category because...
Nope. I'm going to leave it to Elise. Elise, you're going first. Joe,
it's
Smithers,
an amorphous blob of categories.
Yeah. People that can turn into creatures. Maybe on purpose. Maybe not on purpose. But they do it. So that's the draft.
All right.
And
inspired by werewolves.
Inspired by werewolves or
Red pandas.
My first prick.
Your first prick.
My first pick is gonna be Link from Twilight Princess.
Ooh.
To a wolf, like an actual wolf, not a werewolf, but a wolf. So it's like a werewolf, but a wolf.
I didn't even think video games.
Wait, I'm supposed to be taking notes of this.
Yeah. This is Hobbs's butt.
Wow, thanks for showing me your butt. I'm sorry, Mark, who did you say had the second pick?
Joe, then you, then me.
I'm going with the one, the only, the Teen Wolf.
Went for it.
Thank God you didn't take my first pick. It's the only good one that I have.
The Teen Wolf? My God, guys,
Teen
come
Wolf.
on.
Yeah, it's
which
a
one?
classic.
Is it the Michael J. Fox one? Is it the newer MTV one?
Michael J. Fox, for sure.
Did he do
I
the
wasn't there.
second Teen Wolf, or did they replace him?
I don't know.
I
Okay,
think.
fair enough.
But I'm definitely going with Michael J. Fox. Teen
Well,
Wolf. You
it
can have the
doesn't
other
matter
one.
because both of you missed the best pick, which is Emperor Cusco.
Okay, that was my number one.
But,
God damn
Cusco
it.
is a good one. Cusco is a good
Yeah,
one.
How's it going?
that's a drastic oversight on both of your parts.
It wasn't
All right.
oversight. I chose.
Mark, you've
Oh
got
my
two.
God. These are so stupid. I love them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really bad draft.
I'm
By the
gonna
way,
say
this does not
Peter-
count for anything. Thank God.
I'm gonna say Peter is a monkey in Jumanji when he's like,
I was on my list.
Oh,
Yeah,
you had that on his list. That's a good one.
that was on my list for sure.
I'm
You just
also
say I didn't think of it.
I'm also gonna say Hermione is a cat.
Oh shit, that's a good one too. I didn't even
That's a good one, right?
Potion.
Wow.
This is clearly just Mark Googling best werewolf transformations.
No,
And
you won't
Mark
find.
has
You
never
won't.
picked up a fucking
very
Harry
hard.
Potter book in his entire life.
As somebody that didn't prepare, I dare you to, after this episode, try to Google this theme, and I
It's-
guarantee you
it's
can't
rough.
find anything.
It's rough.
All right, Mark. Since
Sorry
you're
that I
such a Harry
challenged
Potter
you.
fan, what does she call it when she transforms into a cat?
A kitty transformation, something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It is. That's
What
she
is it?
said.
What do
It's an
what
animagus.
is it? A what?
Smithers, you sound like a fucking nerd right now.
Dude, right, Joe? Such a fucking nerd. Shut up, Smithers. Go.
Okay. You want to be like that? All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat when he transforms into a fucking dragon.
That's pretty
Wow.
good. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a good one.
Okay.
Good
Wow.
one. I'm picking the Super Saiyans. They transform into giant fucking
Okay.
monkeys.
So they're not super. Okay, I know what you
The
mean.
Saiyans. The Saiyans.
Yes. The
Yes.
Saiyans who get moonlight, if they still
Yes.
have a
Yeah.
tail attached to
If
their
they still
butts,
have a tail attached
they
to
turn
their
into the gigantic things.
Yes.
Yes.
Monkey Godzillas.
Monkey gods.
Was
I
that
mean,
just
that's
Dragon
probably just
Ball,
King
or was
Kong.
that Dragon Ball Z?
No, Dragon Ball Z. I don't think they did anything other than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Although, in Dragon Ball GT, when Goku grows the new tail that wraps
The
around
tail.
himself like a belt, I'm pretty sure he does go. Oh, there's a
He
word
does
for
go.
it, and I'm totally blanking on it. Fuck, it doesn't matter.
the Saiyans.
Joe. Elise,
Weeb.
you
You're not
have
weeb.
2 picks in a row now.
This isn't like not like a great transformation, but it's just a great movie, and I love it so much. I'm going with werewolves, not swearwolves, from What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice.
They're really just regular werewolves, but they have manners, and I appreciate that.
They really don't, because they kind of piss on everything.
Yeah. When they're people, they have manners. When they're werewolves, they're just dogs. But I just love werewolves, not swearwolves, a lot. And then I'm gonna go with Princess Fiona from Shrek.
Oh,
since we brought
fuck.
it.
I just thought of that one.
A were-ogre.
Likely, she's more accurate to the werewolf storyline because it's nighttime. She can't choose it. So,
Sure.
but it's just an ogre instead of a wolf person. So that's my second one.
That's
Third
good.
pick.
Okay. Joe, it is your turn.
I'm going with a character that can not only change into one creature, but can change into 10.
Wow.
That's
Don't
Ben
do it.
10.
I have
Ben
nothing to add to
10.
this. I literally know nothing about this character.
He's
I don't know anything about that.
a galaxy-faring superhero who can absorb the likeness and powers of aliens, and with his powerful transformation watch, can change himself into those creatures at will.
That was Cartoon Network, right?
It was definitely Cartoon Network, yeah.
Are there actually only 10 creatures? How did they make this a show that lasted
it-
for a very long time?
It ends up being like 50 creatures for sure, but it started with 10.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with a weird one. I'm gonna go with Colin Farrell in The Lobster. I don't know if anybody remembers this movie. You probably shouldn't.
Mhm.
The premise is basically if you can't find love by a certain age, you have to turn. They turn you into an animal. And Colin Farrell's character selects a lobster because apparently lobsters can't die of natural causes. They can only die by predation.
Mhm.
And basically, Colin Farrell wants to turn into a lobster. Were lobster.
A were lobster. Yeah. Yeah.
You can have that one.
I have that one in my notes, but I just put in parentheses for Smithers.
Don't pick it.
Don't.
If you've seen the movie, you understand. All right, Mark, you got 2 picks.
I'm gonna go Zachary Binks.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
Good ones I didn't think of.
Good, yeah.
And you know
Wow.
what? Because I feel so strongly about this draft right now, I'm actually going to go an anime route, which I want to go, but I usually don't because I kind of want to pander to people. I'm going to say Haku from Spirited Away.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That was my last one. Now I
There
gotta
was
go
actually
with
an
the callback.
Elise, I'll give you a hint. There's another transformation in Spirited Away, which I liked a lot too. The parents.
Yeah, that's
What?
depressing. I don't.
I know it's super
I thought
depressing.
of them first, but I was like, that's too depressing. That's not.
What
like
about
a
another pig
fun-
though in that universe?
True.
Stop.
You
It's
don't
on my
need them
list.
To be a person though. So.
All right, I'm done.
All right.
All right. My final pick, since I don't really care who wins this draft, it doesn't count for anything. You all suck.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, okay.
I'm obviously a big fan of Futurama, and at one point, Bender turns into a werecar, where he is hit by the prime werecar, and he turns into a car every night and tries to kill all of his friends. Obviously, this is a spoof of Stephen King's Christine, and I think the episode is hilarious, and I love it, and John DiMaggio is the king.
I saw that one in my search, but I tried to only take note of things that I've seen and like actually care about. So I saw it first, is what I'm
You
trying
should
to say.
watch
What
it.
search?
Oh, you saw it before I did?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So
like,
it's
I knew
yours,
about it.
basically.
Yeah, I'm just like, you can have it though. Like
Okay,
you can
fair enough.
Well, I'm picking Porco Rosso for my last one because
Okay.
that's a clear pick. It's an easy pick.
All right, fair enough. Elise, round
Don't
it
even
off.
come upstairs. Joe. Elise is like, don't come up here.
Yeah, I'll fucking stab you.
I'm just gonna stick with my wolves and ogre theme and go back to wolves and do the Y wolves from Adventure Time.
Oh, the werewolves.
And then they turn into smart and logical and well-mannered wolves.
I love the werewolves.
I really didn't want to pull anything from Adventure Time because then you basically have to explain Adventure Time, and that is literally fucking impossible.
That's
I feel like
amazing.
explain the Y wolves there was pretty reasonable. Like they're wolves, and then they turn into smart wolves.
The show is incredible. I absolutely agree with you. It makes you think a lot harder than it should. I'm really confused about when I show my kid Adventure Time, because I'm pretty sure it will drive him to his first existential crisis.
Like season
started
1 and 2,
so-
sure.
Yeah, it started
As
so
it
like
progresses.
this is a cartoon, and then it ended, and you were like, wow, this is a cartoon about like life and
When it gets to
stuff.
like the Stephen Root father stuff, I'm like, oh no.
Oh, we're going into some stuff here. Okay.
Did anybody else ever watch Bravest Warriors, which was another one
Yeah,
of
get into that one.
It's
Yes.
very cute, and eventually I will show it to Max. And
Oh, is that Kappa?
yes, Catbug
Catbug.
is from Bravest
Yeah.
Warriors, which
Yeah.
I bought Erica the plush Catbug, but anyways. So I won't recap the draft because it's very long and it requires a lot of context. There will be a poll out there where you can vote for your favorite group of things.
Creatures. This was actually fun. Like doing it with
Can I-
everyone, it turned out to be more fun.
Can I make an honorable mention right now?
Yeah.
I would
One of the
love if anybody has any honorable mentions, because what the fuck?
I liked this because it's
What
not a thing. So
One of the most terrifying transformations to like a were thingy is the kid in Witches that gets turned into a mouse.
yeah.
That was on my list, but I'm like, I can't do it. Like, even if I posted a picture of that, people would be like, "No, you're out."
No.
This is
No.
so
I was
fucked up.
thinking Jeff Goldblum the Fly, but that's
That's
not what
a
I was
pretty
looking
rough
for.
one.
That's not what I
That's
was
a good
looking
one.
for.
Remus Lupin.
Yeah.
That's-
Also kind of a depressing one, though. Like,
yeah.
cool.
Is
I
Beast
mean,
Boy too much of a layup?
Beast Boy? Yeah,
It didn't
that's
feel like a weird thing. Like, he's
Yeah.
got superpower. I don't know.
Ben
It's like
10
green
beats
weird dude
Beast
already.
Boy any day of the week. Okay.
The entire series of Animorphs, just as a draft pick.
A literary pick.
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Wasn't
we're
there a
gonna
bunch of
deal
like
with
magics?
Morbius?
No, vampires are like I thought about like
I didn't want to pick
Dracula
vampires.
turning into a bat, but I feel like vampires are enemies of werewolves, so like let the werewolves shoot it, you know?
It did feel right.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't feel right. Didn't feel
Joe
right.
Just defining the entire genre right here. You don't get to have an opinion. Fuck that. They don't exist on the same planes, you idiot.
Look, this might be your show, but it's my episode, okay?
Fair enough.
Was I tripping balls, or did Magic School Bus episodes always have like a kid that turned into like some type of creature? Or animal?
Both.
You're
I
tripping
don't feel like
balls
always,
and it's
but
an accurate statement.
Often.
You know, one of them turned into a giant character that they drove a bus into and just like ruined his arteries and ventricles, and his brain exploded. Anyways, here's a movie
Murdered
review.
There he is.
Oh.
So
That's a
chubby.
tick ass boy.
God.
Every time I see Remy, he's either lost 50 pounds or gained 50 pounds.
How dare you speak ill of Remy?
I don't speak ill.
You bastards. Remy is the most perfect dog of all time. And also,
He
we're here to
is.
talk about Turning Red, which is available on Disney Plus as of last week. The Pixar film about getting your period. And there's no better person to ask on
Mark.
this show than our guest, Joe. Tell
Joe.
me about your first period, please.
Yeah. Oh man, it was a memorable one. That's for sure.
Seriously, though, we should probably set this up. This is actually a Pixar movie. And in terms of the critic scores, currently at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, 73% from fans. I've seen quite a few outrage posts, and I know it's like the silent majority, but it's like moms in dumb Facebook groups that are like, oh, this is about girls rebelling and don't show it to your kids. But I think for the most part, this is widely accepted as a Pixar movie that is good and funny. And while I recognize that I'm not the target audience, I can still appreciate the things that it is, which we've been talking about throughout the show, to be honest. Pixar and Disney are good at that. So with that said, I think I'll just kind of go clockwise here. Elise, you want to kick this off and give us your overview and your ratings. See it, stream it, skip it.
I loved this. It was really cute. Very heartfelt. I cried at the end, but that doesn't take a lot. Yeah, it had a lot of good humor. It had a lot of what you would expect from a Pixar movie. The animation was great. All the characters were a lot of personality, and I liked that they all had a good established amount of that. Like, you cared about each character. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's a for everyone movie, but it definitely resonates with people who have periods. But it is also just generally about puberty, which we have all experienced, I would think. And I definitely rate it and see it. I mean, it's on Disney Plus. It's free. Like, why not put it on? It's an hour and a half, probably, like most of these movies.
It was blissfully, it was 100 minutes, an hour 40, which is the perfect length for a movie.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So Mark, you're up next. Please.
So Elise, see it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see it.
Cool. I'm with you. See it. I really enjoyed the friend group of girls. I thought that was one of my favorite parts, how they were all so different, but yet they came together and, brought this whole great, connection to screen. And I think it resonates as well with, even if you're not a female, I think like being like growing up in that time.
No, explain to me what it was like growing up as a teenage girl in the
No, I'm thinking
2000s.
like she was born in 89 because she was 13 when it was 19 or 2001.
Yeah, so the movie is supposed to take place in 2002, which makes a lot of sense because cell phones kind of circumvent a lot of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed the Gigapet. That's all I noticed. It was like hanging from the backpack right away. Did I say it right? Gigapet, right?
Yeah, they were Gigapets and Tamagotchis. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Tamagotchi is like the name. It's like the Kleenex versus tissue.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But I really enjoyed that. Just the time frame it was set in. The humor landed, had a good message. Perfect. Yeah. The runtime was where it needed to be. And it's a Pixar movie. If you have the Disney Plus streaming service, why wouldn't you watch this? So definitely see it.
Okay, Joe, you are next on the clock.
Yeah, it's a see it for me.
Tell me about your first period.
I was surprised and happy with how actually like engaged I was with the movie. I thought there was enough sort of like, unexpected twists and turns in the narrative that kept me like, oh, like this is happening now. Like it wasn't a movie I was just scrolling my phone, on while watching. I thought the family dynamic was really nice too. I kind of related a lot with that. And I'm interested to hear what
Nadine.
The chump dads think about some of this too. But yeah, no, I really liked it. It's a see it for sure.
All right. I will reiterate most of the things that I've heard here, and I'm surprised that none of you have mentioned how fucking adorable it is. Because even when there is a gigantic red panda destroying the city, I'm like, oh. So
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know, like the spoilers.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily, as long as we don't get into the details, it's fine. But I think it is a very strong narrative. It's kind of, it's almost tropish in the fact that it's okay. Teenage girls love this boy band type stuff and gotta get to the concert. It doesn't matter though because it's Pixar and the jokes will keep you reeled in and they will end up with a climax that gives you what you want anyways, and they will wrap everything up in a neat little bow at the end, and it's Pixar. It's what they do, and I can't imagine that I've seen a Pixar movie in the last 10 years where I said anything but see it. So we're just going to keep going with that trend. So at this point, we'll just open up to kind of a general discussion. If you have certain things you want to talk about, maybe like the cast or certain points in the movie, maybe we won't spoil it so much, but I thought this was fun.
Yeah, I'll open up to all you guys was her perspective from her mom being kind of like psychotic at the beginning. Was that her perspective, or would you think that was actually happening? Was that because she was going through like all these emotions and kind of saw her mom acting that way and maybe she wasn't? Or do you think she literally was just kind of being a crazy mom?
I think from experience with people like with moms like this, and especially I know I've had a couple of Asian household friends that I think that those things genuinely were happening. Very overprotective and made a lot of those choices, but
I'm with you.
I think in the same sense that Encanto did a really good job of being like, hey, your parents are crazy, but there's reasons for it, and it's not necessarily excusable.
Justified.
Their parents were crazy also, so that's why this is happening. But I like anything like that towards the end you get a finer understanding to a lot of different viewpoints and why people behave the way they do.
And that's what people go through. It shouldn't all be like, oh, this is a perfect family, like the mom is very understanding or doesn't pry or doesn't intervene in some aspect. This is what parents do, and put it on screen and let everyone as a viewer know that you're not alone and people go through this.
I have to shout out Specs for the dad joke in the chat. Would you say this is a period piece?
Nice.
It definitely took me a while to figure out if when she first turned into the panda, if everyone saw her as a panda or if that was just her inner feelings, emotions coming out, making her seem aggressive and emotional or whatever. But then obviously, they acknowledge it. So I was like, okay, she is a panda in this instance.
Very much a giant red panda, yes.
Yeah, and I don't think you're wrong with trying to figure that out, Joe, because in the beginning she's like, oh, you're so fluffy. It's they do things where you're like, wait, what's really going on?
Yeah.
And they just do a good job of making a lot of minor references to making it seem like puberty. She grabs her stomach and jiggles it a lot, or she smells bad, and to a person, a younger kid or anybody else, to them it's oh, LOL, it's a red panda, of course you're fat and you smell bad and your hair, but puberty, you're getting fatter and you're smelly and you have a lot of hair suddenly. They did a good job, I think, of making these little nods that which a lot of good animated children's films do, which is, hey, this is for kids, but if you're an adult, you can sit and watch it and pick up on things that kids can't, and that's for you. And I think that they nailed that in a lot of ways of I was a little worried after hearing that it was a puberty period movie that I was I'm a little too old for this, but it did a lot of good things of hey, LOL, this is what you dealt with. It's funny because you understand it and you went through it and now you don't have to stress about it as much as this kid is,
Back in my day, periods were secrets.
The only thing I do want to bring up, and it's not spoiler at all, but the twerking scene towards the end of the movie, I lost my mind.
Elise was rolling on the floor laughing.
I was losing it. Like it started, and then I was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny," and then it kept going, and I really could not breathe by the end of that. So I was happy that they made such a funny scene out of something like that. So
this is kind of related, but also not. I totally just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Come back to me. I'm so mad. That was such a good thought. I'm so pissed. I have to reformulate it.
This is why we don't record episodes at night.
It's been a very. I've been up
into
since
the
fucking
deep.
5:30 this morning. All right, kiss my
I've been
ass.
up since 5:30, and I'm doing fine. So.
Yeah, you don't have to actually like drive the show. All right. Anyways, Mark, talk.
Wow, I'm poor Smithers. Oh my
Recording
god,
this podcast right now,
Dude,
so.
I honestly, I kind of wrapped it up. I mean, there's only so much I can relate to besides like the time that it took place in and that nostalgic factor. But yeah, it was a good film.
My question for the chump dads here, because obviously there was a lot of relationship between the young kids and their parents, and the kids starting to like become themselves and maybe break away from the parents, and it's okay to maybe do that. Did you think like as parents that reached you to like, hey, I need to like be aware of my kid growing up and like changing and what that might look like, or what I need to do as a parent to keep them safe but also like let them do their thing? Is there any like
I think you're pretty much destined to fuck your kid up one way or another.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like there is no coming out of this unscathed, and I think the sooner you realize that, probably the better. It's not anybody's fault. There will just always be some level of support that wasn't provided that could have been there when they needed it, and nobody realized it until after. And it's very painful to realize, and I know that I just got super heavy, but that's just kind of like that's how I've come to accept parenting in my mind. So maybe I'm completely off base. Don't get me wrong. That's just like how I see it.
Mm-hmm. And I take it day by day, man. It's like, I don't try to look too far into the future. Like, oh, how could this impact him? Like when something happens, or if he's not doing something he should be doing, I think of like how I was brought up, and if I was taught in the way I thought I should be taught, or if I want to, teach him something differently or go about it differently. But I take it day by day, because it's just like, get through the day. When you have a kid, it's like, get through the day and make sure he's a good kid. And that's all I'm worried about. And yeah, there's some things you can't really, you only can do so much, but you want to just do as much as you can at the same time. If that makes sense.
My kid's getting to the point where he's testing me. Like I'll tell him specifically, like, stop doing that, and he'll like look at me and go. Like slowly move his hand forward. I'm like, I can't call him the word I want to call him because he will repeat it back to me. But yeah, like I get it. And this movie is a very good look into parenting. I mean, obviously there's a lot that's left out, but I can't fathom raising a puberty age girl. Like what the fuck am I supposed to say about that?
Right.
Yeah, well, good luck, because it'll
you'll get there. Just watch Turning Red with them,
I've apologized to my mom numerous times. Just been like, sorry that I was 13 at some point, because that really sucked for you.
But also, fuck you.
Yeah, it's not fun.
All right, well, it sounds like we all appreciate it, and that's a good thing. So everybody check that out. So at this point, we will probably wrap the show up. I want to thank Elise and Joe, both of you, for joining us. I will give you a chance to plug anything you got going on. Elise, I know you've got some things you've been working on. No? I'm sorry. Are you not still running your Etsy store?
Oh, yeah, it's up. It's Witchcrafts and Whereabouts, or Witchwares. It's witch like the question, wares like the items. Yeah, I haven't done anything. I had a really shitty job for like 4 months, and it just drained the absolute life out of me, and I really wasn't doing anything in my outside life. because I was just so miserable. But I got a new job, and this was my first week, and it's not miserable. So hopefully I'll be able to pick that back up again. So we'll see.
I'm very
congrats
glad
on
that
the
I
new
turned
job.
that to you first, so that you could lead us on that super depressing road. I'm very happy for you, Elise.
I fixed my
She's on the up.
problems, so we're
Yeah,
good.
she fixed her problem.
Yeah.
Joe, please promote something.
Yeah, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, I've been doing every Monday night new live stream unboxings on my Instagram page, Pull Lever DM, where I showcase new miniatures, terrain, unpainted minis, and other product created for Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're interested in doing that,
there.
you were, and you made like one crude comment and then left. You just
I was
out
still
of it.
there. I just stopped making crude comments.
It blew up the chat, so it was,
Yeah, if you like D&D product and unboxings, come hang out in the Lever Lair, is what I like to call my Dungeons and Dragons room.
That's what he calls his sex room. Mark, what have you been
That's
working
right.
on?
I just want to plug the Discord. For people that are like don't know what Discord is or are kind of hesitant to join another big app thing on their phone, check out our Discord. It's a bunch of channels of really funny, clever, like-minded people who just enjoy nerdy pop culture shit, and we talk about anything and everything and anything, whether it be like TV shows or even D&D. We have a channel. It's a fun time, and I want to get started some more watch parties, which we were doing at one point. So Moon Knight's coming out. I think we're going to start up some watch parties there, where basically we're all going to hop in a chat together on our Discord and start the show at the same time and watch it together and talk about it. And maybe the same thing for Obi-Wan when that comes out.
I feel
refuse
as
to
though
watch Star Wars with you, Mark. I'm sorry.
I can't listen to you watch a Star Wars
I
show.
don't watch
Joe, I'm pretty sure you can just mute people, though. Even if they don't mute themselves, you can mute them. You can choose to mute them if you want.
The worst
there's
part
always that
about
what we were
option.
watching last time. It was one of the Disney shows, and Mark
was,
just like every 5
What
minutes was just like, "Yo, who's that?" And I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Every episode that you guys have done where you talk about Star Wars, I fucking hate. I hate it. I hate it so much because I just have to listen to you guys.
The worst part
I'm
is
a little better than Mark is, but
First
Mark
of all, for the record, I know Star Wars, and fuck you.
You're
Secondly,
a little better. You still will be like, yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but Mark
Okay.
will make up shit. And that's
if I
what-
can pull out the fucking Grand Inquisitor, I feel as though I deserve a little bit of credit.
I just can't tell if Mark is
fucking with me or
fucking with me or not. Like when you made that comment about, oh, that's Anakin Skywalker. I did not know if you were serious or not,
It
and
was
that
a-
made me more mad. I was
Yeah.
just like, fuck
It's
Mark.
fine. We're just gonna go back to being a Tolkien podcast, and we'll just do Lord of the Rings front to back.
You
You know what?
You
You know
can't
what?
even talk about Lord of the Rings.
You should
Sure I
get mad
can.
at Smithers, though. He knows exactly what he's doing because whenever we talk Star Wars, he kicks it right off to me. And you
does.
guys know that
100%.
because he knows it's going to piss people off.
I'm sorry. Is Fox News
goes to
talking
the
about
re-
how fucking calm it is in the Middle East right now?
The
or are they
Reverend
fucking
expert.
stoking the flames? All right. How do you want to get followers, Mark?
You know what? You just got to, sometimes you got to deal with it with the Chumpcast.
Oh,
It is what it
man.
is.
Sensationalism
put out
at its finest. All right, let's wrap this shit up so we can get the fuck out of here.
Get me out of here.
What a nightmare. Thanks for tuning in. This has been episode 287. Elise, Joe, thank you very much for joining us. We understand it was short notice. You're always welcome in place of Brick. Just kidding, Brick. I love you. We'll be back next week, at which point there's a movie that is going to be better that we will see, and we will talk about it. And that's the premise of the show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
So until next time.
Dude, that Hani Wan Genobi show is going to be sick. Though.
Shut
That Star Wars show coming up.
up.
All right, jumps out, motherfucker.